I want to preface what I'm about to say as, let's not get alarmist. Let's not get all crazy that football is changing forever. That the football that we've come to know and love, where now player safety rules have changed it. Instant replay has caused the breaking down of the momentum sometimes. That the game that we have all known and loved, that where I had bed sheets with all, at the time, probably, 28 teams
yeah, maybe
on
less,
it, all
yeah.
right? That game that we all fell in love with, that we still love so much, people here in Stark County, Ohio, love so much, that it's going away, that it's being legislated out.
It certainly looks different.
Let's just hit the brakes here and say what we saw last night on 3 plays with the new helmet rule is going to destroy the sport. That said, it certainly has the potential to make a big problem out of the 2018 season. Certainly when we have just finally gotten the catch rule right, in my mind, where what's a catch, what's not a catch. I believe this year, as I told you, is going to go away. We're going to hardly talk about it. I think they've nailed this one down right. Now we're going to be sitting here potentially talking about what's a tackle, what's not a tackle, that we're going to be watching a game, we're going to be seeing a hard hit that we think is an actual legal hard hit in the game, and somebody's going to be throwing a flag from somewhere, and it's not reviewable, and it's going to destroy somebody's momentum, it's going to destroy somebody's hitting ability, it's going to destroy the game. There is a potential for that. I'm not going to lie on that front. But let's break down what happened last night. There were 3 hits. The first one that got flagged was an absolute illegal hit under this rule, and one that the league wants to get out of the game. Patrick Onwuasor, I believe is how we pronounce his name, the linebacker for the Ravens. He absolutely lowered his head, and he absolutely hit somebody with the crown of his helmet, and that is the exact play that they are trying to get out of this game. As he sized somebody up, and I understand the helmet made contact with the helmet. That's not what caused this to be made an illegal play. Anybody lowering the helmet and hitting anybody anywhere on the body is what a flag will bring about a flag this year. So it's not the fact that it was helmet to helmet. You can't say, well, I mean, he was sizing him up in the stomach, and then during the hitting of the play, the other guy lowered his helmet. That's not what this rule is about. This rule is about the fact that you cannot lower your helmet and make a hit in the NFL, period. They're trying to get rid of that. And that's what this was. So this was a proper call. All of them were. This was a proper call based on the rule and also in the spirit of what they're intending with this rule. The other 2, however, not so much. The play on Kamale Correa, where it seemed like he lowered his head for the crash position on his own self and just got run into as he was trying to make a play. He didn't butt or spew or hit anybody, lead with his helmet, make the hit with his helmet down. He was standing in the guy's way. He's about to make the hit, and he seemed to lower his own helmet into a crash position. Got flagged for it. That's absurd. But there's nothing more. Well, that's bad and potentially an unintended consequence that referees need to take into account. What's really bad was the call on safety Bennett Jackson. Safety Bennett Jackson did what is a textbook hit by a safety, a hard hit over the middle, separating a receiver from the ball. Period. End of story. His shoulder was what hit the guy first.
His head is in front.
His helmet was in front of the hit, and he did seem to lower his head a little bit when he's making a hit, which is what a lot of guys are going to do. But he didn't intend to hit him with his helmet. He didn't lead with his helmet. He led with his shoulder. This is what a hit should be in the NFL from the safety position. And he was flagged for it. So, after the game, Bennett Jackson even said he was told by the ref, hey, it's preseason, we got to throw the flag. So keep this in mind to bring it all full circle. I spoke to somebody who I know who's on the player safety committee. Okay. Talk about this very stuff.
Okay.
And I said, this is a major problem. And the guy goes, yeah, but we got to teach these guys to get their heads up. Way too many concussions in the game. And I'm like, you think this is going to have that effect? Like, that the flags come out like this and it's going to have that effect? He goes, yeah, I do. And so these flags being called to tell the first violator, get your damn head up. Don't hit like that.
Right.
Because you shouldn't hit like that. That's the exact sort of play that, we see guys get up 99 times out of 100, and then there's that one time where Ryan Shazier doesn't get up. And that the league has too many concussions, and that this is something that they're addressing, and we may not like it, but we also can't bitch and moan when somebody's being taken out of a game due to a concussion. What the hell's happening? We can't bitch and moan when we say, hey, somebody didn't get taken out of a game when he was clearly concussed. It's not perfect, but they're trying their best to try and address it. But you also have to make sure that the other two instances aren't called. So what they're doing right now potentially is throwing all of these flags to everybody get your head up. And then when the season starts, the flag that was thrown on Bennett Jackson's not going to get thrown. Not only because it's been already shown to these officials, don't call that, which makes this a very difficult job. They have to do this stuff in real time without the ability of replay. Replay, however, I think might be used to determine if someone can get ejected in the same way
in college, right?
The colleges.
Yeah.
So it's just one game. It was the first game. We're going to be seeing maybe a lot more of these hits happening in preseason because a lot of these guys are not going to be playing. They're not as good, potentially. So we may be seeing a ton of them in the first 2 weeks. Let's not get totally bent out of shape. But these guys have to know when they're out on the field, don't lead with your helmet. And the guys who are in the zebras stripes have to know what's a flag and what isn't. And unfortunately for them in real time.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.